Jai Hind. With immense pleasure and great honor, I, Dr. Nisha Rana, in charge IPRs, Swami Vivekananda Subharti University, Meerut, and member AFTEFS Society, warmly welcome all distinguished dignitaries, eminent academicians, scientists, researchers, faculty members, students, industry experts, and participants from across the country for the day 19 of Krishi Manthan, the 21 days summer school training program. The unique academic initiative is being jointly organized by Rani Lakshmibai Central Agriculture University, Jhansi, University of Agriculture Sciences, Raichur, Swami Vivekanand Subharti University, Meerut, GD Goenka University, Gurugram, Sant Girira Guru Vishwavidhyalaya, Chhattisgarh, AFTEFS Society, and Vital Biotech Education Group, Kota, Rajasthan. This program has been started from 1st June 2026 and will be continued to 21st June 2026, focusing on agriculture, horticulture, forestry, sustainability, entrepreneurship, modern technologies, and skill development. So, moving forward for the sessions. So, today we are having two sessions, each lasting 40 minutes, including the question, answer, and discussion. So, moving forward, the technical session first. It's my privilege to introduce our speaker for technical session first, Dr. Sudhir Kumar Rajput. Sir is a faculty member in Department of Agronomy, Institute of Agriculture Sciences, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. His focus on remote sensing, sustainable cotton wheat production system, crop establishment method, and integrated nutrient management. He has made notable contribution to improving the sustainable BT India and actively associated with ICR programs and promoting dry land agriculture technologies. Sir is also engaged in farmer training and awareness, and Dr. Rajput has published numerous research paper review articles in several reputed journals. He has received MSc Best Thesis Award from Indian Society of Agronomy, New Delhi. Now, I would like to request to Dr. Rajput to kindly deliver his lecture.
Thank you, Ms. Nisa Rana,
Sir,
for this brief introduction. My slide is visible.
yes.
Today's my topic is integrated nutrient management for the sustainable agriculture. Is under the module 11. Is why this evolution and this need of INM. I know this all the agriculture students know about the integrated nutrient management, but this time this government of India and other Ministry of Agriculture also focusing on integrated nutrient management because this in last decades these farmers our agriculture production system is entirely depend on chemical fertilizer. So here you can see the evolution and why the need of the integrated nutrient management. Early agriculture system, you can see before 19th century, our major practice was the application of the manures and this animal manures, compost and crop residue as a source of nutrient for the crop production. In 19th century, industrial revolution and the synthetic fertilizer was developed. With the introduction of this fertilizer, we shifted from towards chemically intensive farming system. And next we can see the consequences of the over reliance of the chemical fertilizer in the 19th to mid-century. Heavy reliance on the chemical inputs. There is a problem of the nutrient imbalance. This is a major problem is nowadays facing our Indian agriculture system, soil degradation and environmental this pollution with due to heavy use of the chemical fertilizer in crop production system. And this after that in mid 20th century there is a awareness about the research for the soil health. Scientists have worked on the this problem of the high use of the chemical fertilizer and raising the awareness about the soil health. Then the emergence, the concept of INM was in late 20th century. This INM is very simple concept where we use the organic source of the nutrient and inorganic source of the nutrient for raising the crop production system. Is focus on the balanced nutrition, soil fertility, and environmental care. The INM is this is now the need of the for the sustainable agriculture. As we know, This time different program is going on, is like खेत बचाओ अभियान एंड अबाउट दी सॉइल हेल्थ अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम। सभी लोगों ने सुना होगा, आजकल मीडिया न्यूज में सब चल रहा है। डिफरेंट केवीकेस, आईसीआर इंस्टीट्यूट, स्टेट एग्रीकल्चर यूनिवर्सिटी, सेंट्रल, सभी लोग इस प्रोग्राम में लगे हुए। मेजर विजन of this behind this program is anyhow we have to reduce the 25 to 30% fertilizer consumption. In next slide, we will discuss why this important need of the reduction of the fertilizer consumption in India. Here we can see these are soil health challenges. Healthy soil, because healthy soil is a basic fundamental for the all the health, like and animal health, human health, planet health. The basic is first we have to focus on the soil health, because healthy soil will produce the nutritious crop. Nutritious crop will helpful for the good human health. That's why this soil health concept is very important. In nutshell, our Indian agriculture system facing three type of challenges. Am I audible? Is there any problem?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay.
Okay.
तो
ऑडिबल
हमारा
सर,
जो
ऑडिबल।
एग्रीकल्चर, ओके, दिस एग्रीकल्चर सिस्टम, कुछ हिंदी मीडियम भी छात्र थे तो उनके लिए बताऊं कि हमारा जो एग्रीकल्चर सिस्टम है इस समय तीन टाइप की जो मेजर चैलेंजेस है, प्रॉब्लम को फेस कर रहा है, तो सभी लोगों को आना चाहिए एज एग्रीकल्चर स्टूडेंट। फर्स्ट इज क्लाइमेट चेंज एंड क्लाइमेटिक वेरिएबिलिटी इज मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट challenges. And there is a difference between climate change. Climatic variability means sudden monsoon, there is erratic rainfall, drought, flood, cyclone. These comes under the climatic variability. But climate change is a significant, long-lasting change over the weather parameters over the period of decades. Like कुछ टेम्परेचर बढ़ा है 0.5 डिग्री या 1 20 30 साल में, उसको बोलते हैं क्लाइमेट चेंज। The first most important challenge is climate change and variability. Second important challenges is in our system or agriculture system is degradation of the natural resources. जितना भी हमारा natural resources है, soil, water, forest, biodiversity are degrading. The in degradation of the natural resources, the soil is our basic fundamental important natural resources. तो इसके बीच में आप आज डिस्कस करेंगे कि कैसे सॉइल को कंजर्व करना है। थर्ड इम्पोर्टेंट चैलेंज इज डिक्लाइनिंग द फैक्टर प्रोडक्टिविटी, मीन्स दे आर इंक्रीजिंग द कॉस्ट ऑफ कल्टीवेशन। is the third most important challenges we are facing. So here we discuss about the soil health challenges. So here is the most important challenges in soil is low soil organic carbon. Every student, every faculty, we should know about the soil organic carbon is very important, because carbon is like a blood of the soil, or it's like a hemoglobin of the soil. This carbon is very low in soil, your soil will not respond any chemical fertilizer. That's why this carbon, this maintenance of the soil organic carbon is very important. So here this time you're facing the low soil organic carbon problem all over India, where the limit is below 0.5%. Next important challenges is related to soil health is imbalanced nutrient use. Ideal, as we know all, we know the ideal balance ratio for the cereal is 4:1, and for the legumes crop is 1:1. But India's ratio is 6.54:1. So this imbalance use of the fertilizer cause the nutrient deficiency due to continuous nutrient mining and inadequate organic manure addition and micronutrient deficiency. Third is no nutrient use efficiency. This, as we know, presently these farmers are not adopting the INM. They are dependent on the chemical fertilizer. But chemical fertilizers like urea, DAP having, and this nutrient fertilizer having very low nutrient use efficiency. Like we all know, this nitrogen efficiency is near about 30 to 50%. We are doing research since 3 4 5 decades, but we cannot enhance the efficiency. There is a phosphorus efficiency is already 15 to 20%. Why this nitrogen efficiency is very low? Because there is a many sources of the for the nitrogen losses like denitrification, volatilization, leaching, because the nitrogen is nutrient is very sensitive to different losses. Phosphorus efficiency is only 15 to 20%। इतने साल से हम लोग रिसर्च कर रहे हैं, अभी फास्फोरस एफिशिएंसी कितना हमारा, 15 से 20%। And this why this phosphorus efficiency is very low, because phosphorus is very reactive nutrient. As we apply in soil, it will get fixed with the soil. Very reactive nutrient and very among the costliest nutrients among the primary nutrient. सबसे महंगा कॉस्टली जो न्यूट्रेंट है फास्फोरस। Then is potassium efficiency 60% and sulfur 8 to 10%. And this micronutrient, because in this talk we will discuss about the micronutrient deficiency. As we know, is near about 50% of the Indian soils are deficient in zinc. Zinc is very important micronutrient because it play important role in crop production as well as human nutrition. That's why different program at world level, India level is going on for enhancing the or fortification of the zinc in food crop. So, if the most important this and the efficiency of hardly only 1 to 2% of the micronutrient. And this is about the soil health. These the challenges: carbon imbalance, nutrient and low nutrient use efficiency. How this impact the poor soil health, declining the productivity, poor soil structure, environmental degradation, and what are the ways for restore the soil health. We'll discuss in later on in slides by different INM approach and different new generation fertilizers, and what are the new schemes in this launched by the government of India promoting the soil health, and what are the new initiatives we'll discuss in this talk. Now come to the current fertilizer scenario in India. Because fertilizer is basic, fundamental is for the our agriculture production system. As we know, fertilizer and seed are the two most important for the crop production. So here we know the fertilizer scenario for the improving the nitrogen use efficiency. As we know, the fertilizer consumption in India is near about 65 to 70 million ton per year. Why we are emphasizing this fertilizer? Because fertilizer we are investing very heavy amount. Here you can see 1.67 to 1.7 lakh crore rupees we are investing as a subsidy every year. Otherwise, without subsidies, we farmers cannot afford the fertilizer in India. And this time we can see due to this war, this energy crisis and fertilizer crisis, maybe come, and this India is the second largest consumer of the fertilizer, and these are the very important for our sustainability or our food security. And annual consumption, the nitrogen is the most heavily subsidized nutrient in India. Here you can see the urea is only 60% contribution, MOP only 10%, total consumption, and DAP 18%. Nitrogen is largest proportion subsidy, and this very heavy burden due to this fertilizer subsidy near about 1.7 lakh crore. That's why if we increase the fertilizer efficiency only 10%, 20%, we can save the 1,000 crore rupees of the government of India. So the major vision of government of India is anyhow we have to reduce the fertilizer consumption 25 to 30% by different approach, INM approach or different other source of nutrient. We have to focus or align your research, a master or PhD research regarding this topic, how we can reduce the fertilizer consumption. In later this next slide, we will discuss what are the different strategy, and this there are different ways to improve the efficiency of the fertilizer. We will discuss. This is about the current scenario of the nitrogenous fertilizer. Why the nitrogenous fertilizer is very important. Recently, government of India is introduced the neem coated urea, but the bag size is only 45, because earlier the bag size of the bag 50 kg. Because due to this neem coated urea, the efficiency increased 10 to 15%. फार्मर्स को क्या माइंड सेट है, उसको तो 50 kg डालना है, लेकिन ये हमारे क्या नीम कोटेड यूरिया से क्या हुआ, एफिशिएंसी बढ़ा है, इसलिए गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने उसका बैग साइज कम किया थी कि 45 kg ही डालना है, अदरवाइज 50 डालना तो नीम कोटेड से क्या फायदा हो। और भी रीजन थे वाई दिस गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इंट्रोड्यूस नीम कोटेड यूरिया, विल डिस्कस। Now come to the fertilizer consumption and import dependency. Here we can see we are the self-reliance and import. India has achieved the self-sufficiency in the key fertilizers like urea. 87% consumption is domestically made. And NPK fertilizers, we are producing 90%. And DAP only 40%. And MOP, we are still importing 100% from the other country for fulfilling the domestic demand. That's why this fertilizer, this production, and it's very important thing. In this slide, you can see this graph illustrate the relation between the nutrient consumption, nutrient removal, nutrient gap, and food production. This slide is very important. How we can sustain our food grain production because there is increasing demand of the nutrient. There is presently nutrient gap is near about in 2025 is 50 million ton. How we can fulfill or we can sustain our food grain production in future because this time you can see the demand increasing over the years in 2003 to 10 and 10 to 25. Earlier this was 30, now is 40 million ton nutrient gap. And we are producing near about 350 million ton food production. Now come to this topic is integrated nutrient management. As we know this time Government of India is promoting different manures and FIMs for the use of this for soil health. This and now we'll discuss in this slide the concept, basic concept is a holistic approach to maintaining the soil fertility. This is not a new concept, but still farmers applying only fertilizer. Some farmers applying only FYM, some region or location specific, but 80 to 90% is our agriculture system is entirely depend on chemical fertilizer. This is a holistic approach. In this approach, INM, we have to use the all the sources of the nutrients like organic source. We have FYM, compost, vermicompost, but FYM is not available. So we will discuss what are the alternative solutions for this FIM. Vermicompost is gaining popularity nowadays because it is good in nutrient content compared to FYM. And this green manuring is very good option for the farmers. And like NPK in organic sources, different chemical fertilizers, all we know DAP, urea, and some new generation fertilizer are there. We will discuss what are the new generation fertilizer because in fertilizer, this new generation having the higher nutrient efficiency. Biological sources we have biofertilizer, different biofertilizer, and other approaches. And these are the different key benefit. Here can see from the INM, we can improve the soil fertility. INM is not only for enhancing the crop productivity, it will improve the soil health and as well as the climate resiliency. How we can increase the climate resiliency from the INM, we'll discuss. Impact of INM, integrated nutrient management on soil health, climate resilience, yield, and economy. So INM is a holistic approach. We focus on the yield stability is there, good quality, high nutrient use efficiency, increase the soil organic matter or soil organic carbon, this improvement of physical property like aggregation, water holding capacity, microbial activity, and different enzymes like phosphatase, enzymes, dehydrogenase enzymes improve through addition of this organic manure, and we can reduce the heavy metal toxicity and soil-borne diseases. How this water retention increase, the carbon sequestration and soil organic carbons, and this long-term sustainability index. So INM is a for addressing the productivity, input efficiency, and agriculture sustainability and economics. We can reduce the cost of cultivation, and net return will increase, and ultimately factor productivity. Which is the challenges nowadays we have discussed in first slide. This important challenge is declining the factor productivity. This is the major challenge. Now come to the component of INM. So you all know what are the different component. If you are from agriculture background, MSc, CG or MSc. So these are the simple component, but this some advancement is there. This recently this biostimulant class is included in the component of INM. Biostimulants are nothing. This is the like the chemical or some substance which enhance the physiological or biochemical reaction of the in the crop plants. These are the botanical extract, and nowadays this result of the biostimulants are very good in the farmers field. The IFCO is already launched. The Sagarika is a important biostimulant seaweed extract. Its trade name is Sagarika. तो एक आप जो हमारे स्टूडेंट से बायोस्टिमुलेंट्स में अगर हम कोई बात करें तो सगार का इफको द्वारा लॉन्च किया गया है। इसमें सीवीड एक्सट्रैक्ट जो है और इसका जो डोज नियर अबाउट 5 ml पर लीटर के हिसाब से हम 2-3 स्प्रे कर सकते हैं। तो बायोस्टिमुलेंट्स एक क्लास है जो आईएनएम में इंक्लूड की गई है। एंड दिस अभी डिस्कस करेंगे इसमें कौन कौन से ऑर्गेनिक एंड मैन्योर्स आल नो FIM फर्मेंटेड ऑर्गेनिक मैन्योर गोबर की खाद एंड ग्रीन मैन्योरिंग crop residue, and this more recent advancements is fermented organic manure are there, and chrome phosphate rich organic manure and some Panchgapya, this which used for the natural farming, and biofertilizer for the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, zinc, and inorganic fertilizer. We all know inorganic. We add. We can also use the soil amendments, water soluble fertilizer, chelated micronutrients, and customized fertilizer and fortified fertilizer. This is the overview of the component of the INM and what are the recent advancement and what are the different new component added in the this component of the integrated nutrient management. Is it clear? Anyone can reply? Hello.
जी सर।
Okay. So there is a basic difference between biostimulant and biofertilizer we will discuss. Now come to the naturally occurring inorganic. Now we'll discuss the one by one different component of the INM integrated nutrient management. What are the different sources like chemical fertilizer, organic manure, biofertilizer, and biostimulants, and what are the new advancement in this integrated nutrient management and fertilizer, how we can enhance the fertilizer use efficiency discuss. So first is naturally occurring inorganic minerals we can use as a fertilizers like rock phosphate. Polyhalite is a recent advancement in crop nutrition. These halides are naturally minerals with a reserve in under the deep sea, and these are the rich source of the sulfur near about 48%, and this potassium, calcium, magnesium, only 4 nutrients this polyhalite content, very good for the like pulses and this oilseed crop. And rock phosphate, all will know this application of this with PSB solubilizing bacteria. This will improve the phosphorus efficiency. And these other minerals are there. Waste mica is a resource of potassium. So these minerals provide the nutrient in very slow and steady manner, and that's why the efficiency is very good. And this is also ensure the long-term soil fertility. And we can enhance the yield from these new naturally occurring minerals. And the key benefits improve the health, very less environmental risk, there is no leaching, very cost effective, and they also support the long-term crop productivity. Polyhalite is very popular among the farmers. Some companies are marketing different trade names. Polyhalite is a naturally minerals. Now come to the important component biofertilizer. Simple biofertilizer, nothing the formulation of the living entity which can fix the atmospheric nitrogen, and we can solubilize the phosphorus, solubilize the potassium and micronutrients. Biofertilizer all the also a very essential component of the integrated nutrient management. But why these biofertilizer are not popular among the farmers field? There is very limitation or drawback of the biofertilizer. Biofertilizer is very effective. We all know the microbes work very well under the good field condition, good soil moisture condition. We cannot ignore the potential of the microbe. Microbes plays important role for the nutrient mineralization, but there are few drawback or limitation we can discuss, and key benefits we can help the enhance the fertility, reduce the dependency on the synthetic fertilizer. By using of the biofertilizer, we can enhance 15 to 20% crop yield, and we can save the cost, and these are the very cost effective, increase the T, and biofertilizer are the solution for the healthy soil and balanced nutrition and sustainable crop production. But these are the limitation of the biofertilizer, because these are very sensitive to environmental condition. Its effectiveness is decreased due to moisture deficiency and pH, and there should be good organic matter, organic carbon. That condition only this biofertilizer works well. Very short shelf life is there of these different biofertilizer. Slow action. There is no why farmers prefer urea over the biofertilizer, because their action is very slow. There is no eye catching effect. आप यूरिया डालते हैं तो एक दो घंटे में ग्रीन लीव दिख जाता है, लेकिन बायोफर्टिलाइजर का ऐसा कोई आई कैचिंग इफेक्ट नहीं है. That's why these farmers are not adopting this technology biofertilizer. But nowadays the different consortia are there which are very efficient, and farmers are adopting low nutrient content and competitive with other microorganism, and very specificity to host, and where poor marketing is not available, and problem of this cold storage or proper storage of the, and these are the key challenges: lack of quality control, standardization, inadequate cold chain and distribution network, limited awareness about this biofertilizer, because farmers knows only about the urea and DAP. We have to work on this research and development for the robust strain. We need to develop, improve the storage and package. Farmers training and extension services required to promote the biofertilizer among the farmers. And biofertilizer having great potential by overcoming these limitations for maximizing their benefits. Now come to the biostimulants. Already discussed biostimulants. In biofertilizer, there is a role for the fixing and atmospheric the nitrogen and sulfur. But biostimulant doesn't any fix the atmospheric nitrogen or sulfur. These biostimulants just stimulate the physiological reaction and biochemical reaction of the crop plants. Stimulate or enhance the natural process in the plant or soil. That's why this known biostimulant. These are the more recent addition in the integrated nutrient management, and this is also increase the agriculture production resilience, because this system type of biostimulants are there like botanical extract, seaweed extract. This is one product of the IFCO already told. It says sagarica, biochemicals, tryptophan, and protein based amino acid are there, vitamins and cell-free microbial products, and these are and this humic and fulvic acid. These are the different types and group of the biostimulant. How these biostimulants improve the germination and early growth, promote the root and growth development, enhance the photosynthetic pathway and different metabolic activities. These are the role of the biostimulants, and this different biostimulants are there. We can use as a foliar spray, as a soil application like one or two foliar spray in a standing crop. This biostimulant will reduce the abiotic stress effect on the crop. And the outcome, you can see higher productivity, good soil efficiency, and good soil health. तो different biostimulant we can use. इनको पानी छिड़काव कर सकते हैं एक दो, and dose generally 5 to 10 ml is per liter. And these are very cost effective. Now come to this CBG, compressed biogas plant byproduct. This is known as fermented organic manure. This time government of India is focusing. These are the alternative for the FYM, फार्म यार्ड मैन्योर, क्योंकि गोबर की खाद नहीं मिल रहा है कहीं हमारे गांव में, कहीं खेतों में डालने के लिए. तो फर्मेंटेड ऑर्गेनिक मैन्योर इज बेस्ट ऑप्शन बिकॉज इसमें इंडस्ट्री इन्वॉल्व है, तो एवरी ईयर दे आर प्रोड्यूसिंग गुड क्वांटिटी ऑफ दी दिस फर्मेंटेड ऑर्गेनिक मैन्योर। इसको डाल सकते हैं, सस्ता भी है। दिस इज द रिप्लेसमेंट ऑफ दी FYM, the CBG, compressed biogas, is organic waste, and are the material used as a substrate in the feedstock, and there is anaerobic digestion, and this is a source of the clean energy. And value this valuable byproduct of this is can be solid and liquid. Fermented organic manure is can be solid and liquid. These are the also the source of carbon and having the some quantity of the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium equal or more this is FIA. The benefit from this for the soil health is increase the organic matter, increase the water holding capacity, all these benefit, and these are clean energy for the greener planet, and these are the byproduct, and we can use 2 to 5 ton per acre before sowing and after land preparation. Or we can use the fertigation as a liquid this fermented organic manure. This government of India is, but this time we have to work on this enrichment of the fermented organic manure because the nutrient content is very low. That's why we need to research for the enrichment of the fermented organic manure by different fertilizer or different microbe and biochar. This, here you can see the fermented organic manure is sustainable source for the nutrient because all over India this organic carbon is declining, and these are the very important source for which fulfill the organic matter. Organic carbon is contain 1 to 2% nitrogen, 14% organic carbon, is having which good for the import microorganism. And this time India is producing near about 1 million ton of FOM per annum, and the effective utilization as a manure can decrease the dependency on agricultural fertilizer imports. If we are using all over India this fermented organic manure, we can reduce the fertilizer consumption and we can enhance the soil organic carbon. This is very, very important. And this liquid FOM is there, we can use as a fertigation and foliar spray. So these are the important byproduct of our biogas plant because this time paddy this paddy stuff burning is very common problem, and this as a substrate paddy stuff is used as this biogas plant. And we also use this some cow dung for this biogas production and feed any residue material they are using. These are the benefits. We can improve physical, chemical, and biological property, can reduce the fertilizer consumption, enhance the nutrient use efficiency. So these are the some benefits of this fermented organic manure. So these are the recent advancement. This here you can see the Reliance industry because industry is coming with this plant, so that's why it's very, very important. The industry, this Reliance is target is set up of 500 biogas plant by 2030. This is a major step for the greener and cleaner energy and self-reliant in India. Waste to wealth, clean energy and rural prosperity. There is circular and bioeconomy model. Is nothing is based, and there is the scheme of the Govardhan by the government of India promoting the gobar gas plant in rural villages. And this Indian biogas mission has made a case for fixing fair and remunerative price of the fermented organic manure. In every year, this FOM is available at the rate of 5.5 rupees. जो fermented organic manure है, उसका रेट जो निर्धारित किया गया 5.5 रुपए पर केजी के हिसाब से। तो इसको किसान भाई जो भी हैं सब उसको परचेज कर सकते हैं और अपना हेल्थ, सॉइल हेल्थ को इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं। There is a vision of 500 this biogas by 2030. So this is a very, very important use of FOL. Because so many program and project is going on this time in all over India to promote or creating the awareness about the fermented organic manures because this FYM is not available These are the waste alternative. Now come to the green leaf manure, green manure and brown manure. This is also very cost effective for enhancing the organic carbon and soil health. This is very old age practice, बट कुछ सालों से ये प्रैक्टिस नहीं की जा रही थी क्योंकि इसका सीड नहीं मिल रहा था हम किसानों को. लेकिन दिस टाइम दिस गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एंड यूपी गवर्नमेंट इज प्रमोटिंग सस्टेनिया एज ए green manuring crop, and they are distributing the seeds free of cost. There is target. They are also purchasing the seeds at the rate of is 10,000 rupees per quintal. This means this is the not a crop. Green manuring you can grow as a crop, as a cash crop, because there is a this fixed price for 10,000 rupees per quintal. You can sell the seed of the green manuring, and there are different ways for the inclusion of this green manuring, like in situ manuring is a traditional practice. Sow the seed and after 45 days incorporate the green manure in the field. And XC2 green leaf manuring approach is there. And there's a brown manuring which is very common in direct seeded rice. Here in the brown manuring with sowing the seed of the paddy with suspensia, and after 35 days we knock down with the herbicide and we act as a mulch. This is a very common practice as a brown manuring. These are different approaches, and बिग फार्मर्स इसको यूज कर सकते हैं. रोटेशन बेसिस पे भी कर सकते हैं कि लाइक दिस 1 हेक्टेयर फील्ड इज देयर, उसके 1 बीघा खेत में इस बार ग्रीन मैन्यूरिंग कर लिया, नेक्स्ट ईयर तो रोटेशन से भी कर सकता है. एंड दिस क्रॉप रेजिड्यू मैनेजमेंट is very important because India is producing here about 686 million ton of crop residue annually. This is a huge potential to save the fertilizer and improving the soil health. We can use the crop residue as a mulch, as a composting, or we can use this residue for the production of the biogas, or and ultimately byproduct will be fermented organic manure and used as a cattle bedding material. These are the important resources farmers should use for the enhancing the soil health. And these are the now come to the this we have discussed about some component of the this INM. Now come to the fertilizer part, because fertilizer is very integral part or important component of the INM, because without fertilizer this integrated nutrient management is not possible. So that's why this always recommended sun is there 50% or 75% fertilizer plus other organic matter. Here we can discuss the how we can enhance the fertilizer use efficiency and what are the new generation fertilizer for enhancing the fertilizer efficiency and other tools and techniques. So fertilizer use efficiency simple formula, how we this work out crop yield per unit nutrient applied or amount of fertilizer nutrient applied. And why the fertilizer efficiency is important? Because improve the crop productivity, reduce the production cost, nutrient losses we can reduce, enhance the soil fertility, and promote the sustainable agriculture. And these are the different indices, and कुछ एग्जाम वगैरह में स्टूडेंट्स कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम में आता है व्हाट आर दी डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ फर्टिलाइजर indices or fertilizer use efficiency. First, agronomic efficiency. Generally, we work out this formula: yield in fertilizer plot or control upon this total amount of fertilizer. So, in agronomic efficiency means it's an increase in crop yield per unit of the nutrient applied. It indicates response to wet fertilizer application. That's like that recovery efficiency there. How much is the nutrient is uptake by the crop. Physiological efficiency shows the internal efficiency of the crops. Yield increase per unit of the nutrient absorbed by the crop. कितना क्रॉप ने जो न्यूट्रिएंट ऑब्जर्व किया उससे कितना ग्रेन या प्रोड्यूस बन रहा है उसको बोलते हैं फिजियोलॉजिकल इफिशियंसी. इफ यू मल्टीप्लाई द रिकवरी एंड फिजियोलॉजिकल इफिशियंसी इट विल बी द agronomic efficiency. So agronomic efficiency is a multiplication of the recovery and physiological efficiency. Now come to the partial factor productivity is the yield upon fertilizer applied or nutrient applied. This simple formula is for the partial factor productivity. And other efficiency like internal and partial nutrient balance. So these are the different indices we use generally for the research work or this how we can use these indices. Now come to the different Newton losses pathway for reducing the fertilizer efficiency. Why the fertilizer efficiency is in first or second slide we have discussed Newton efficiency of nitrogen fertilizer is hardly 30 to 40% only. Phosphorus 15 to 20%. So these are the different reasons for the low Newton efficiency of the nitrogenous fertilizer. They are leaching, very water soluble fertilizer, volatilization, high pH, denitrification, fixation of the phosphatic fertilizer, and runoff. So these are the different common and this condition and how will this impact. Now come to the different Newton interaction also there which reduce the fertilizer efficiency. There is synergistic interaction like nitrogen sulfur is very positive interaction. That's why the nitrogen sulfur is most commonly used fertilizer in fertigation. And this is the antagonistic interaction phosphorus and zinc, K and Mg, calcium and magnesium. These are the different interaction we should know for enhancing the fertilizer use efficiency. Now come to the and we have discussed the fertilizer efficiency, what are the causes. Now come to the new generation fertilizer which are very helpful for enhancing the fertilizer use efficiency like slow release जो बहुत ही धीमे धीमे रिलीज होते हैं, कंट्रोल रिलीज फर्टिलाइजर एंड इनहिबिटर्स like slow release, different chemicals compound are there, urease inhibitors, reduce the urease activities, and nitrification inhibitors, example of nitropyrin and DCD. These the क्वेश्चन भी कभी कभी एग्जाम वगैरह में आ जाते हैं, तो जो स्टूडेंट्स इसको ध्यान से सुन सकते हैं. DCD are the nitrification inhibitors, urease inhibitor, NBPT, and slow release IBDU and CDU and sulfur coated. Means physically coating material comes under slow release. And these are the how this work. It reduce the nitrogen losses, improve the efficiency, and you can see this image how this slow release and control release fertilizer enhance the nutrient uptake over the crop growth period. And chelated micronutrient is also one option for enhancing the micronutrient efficiency because this micronutrient also very important. The chelating EDTA are the used as a for the enhancing the efficiency of the micronutrient, and dose is there, and we apply most all the crops as a foliar application. Now come to the most advancement is customized fertilizer. Customized fertilizer वो फर्टिलाइजर होते हैं जो क्रॉप एंड लोकेशन स्पेसिफिक होते हैं, एक पर्टिकुलर रीजन के लिए डेवलप किए जाते हैं उसकी सॉइल टेस्टिंग के हिसाब से, तो उनको बोलते हैं कस्टमाइज फर्टिलाइजर. तो कस्टमाइज फर्टिलाइजर आर दी मल्टी न्यूट्रिएंट फर्टिलाइजर, इसमें नाइट्रोजन फास्फोरस जो भी उस रीजन या क्रॉप की डिमांड होगी उसके अकॉर्डिंग इसको डिजाइन किया जाता है. एंड दीज आर दी क्रॉप एंड लोकेशन स्पेसिफिक. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर एरिया एंड क्रॉप स्पेसिफिक, डेवलप्ड एज पर दी सॉइल test-based recommendation and validated using the scientific crop models. Customized fertilizer ensure the balanced nutrition, increase the crop growth yield and profitability and nutrient use efficiency. And these are the steps how we develop the customized fertilizer. Soil sampling, very rigorous soil sampling is there, data interpretation, soil testing, formulation of the customized fertilizer, then application. Here you can see the case study of the farmer practice where farmer applying the recommended dose of the fertilizer yield on only 7.21 ton per hectare, and customized fertilizer there is a 26% increase in the grain yield of the maize. This is the advantage of the customized fertilizer. Customized fertilizer gives significant yield and profitability compared to farmer practice. Now this other important class of the fertilizer is in as per fertilizer control order is fortified fertilizer. Dear students, here is one question. Is, as we know, 50% of our Indian soils are deficient in zinc. Can you tell me the best way to solve this zinc deficiency all over India? Anyone? Any participants? our 50% Indian soils are deficient in zinc. How we can solve the zinc deficiency problem? These large area. Hello.
Sir,
Yes.
I'm concluding.
Yes. Answer is fortified fertilizer. If we fortified the fertilizer with urea, with this zinc or boron or sulfur, any micronutrient with our main fertilizer like urea and DAP, this can solve the problem of the micronutrient all over India. It's only the best way to solve the micronutrient deficiency problem because farmers are already applying urea and DAP. If you fortified the urea and DAP with micronutrients like iron, zinc, or some boron, so this automatically will go in the farmer's field through fortification. So the fortified fertilizer are the option for the solve the micronutrient deficiency all over India. Now come to the very important is green ammonia is nowadays gaining popularity and this private industry or multinational companies are involved in the production of the green ammonia. And this is low carbon fertilizer for a sustainable India because you know ammonia is a very raw material for all the fertilizer production, especially nitrogen fertilizer, urea and DAP. Earlier this approach was to use of fossil fuel but nowadays, renewable energy like solar, wind, and hydrogen energy are used for the splitting of the water and formation of the green ammonia. The green ammonia directly we can use as a fertilizer and this why this green because this production is through renewable energy. So this is a zero fossil fuel, low emission and sustainable future because we have to reduce or we have to reduce the carbon emission by zero carbon emission by 2070. This is a very good approach for the production of the green ammonia and benefits low carbon emission, sustainable energy security, and low carbon solution like urea, low carbon, DAP, NPK we can produce through this green ammonia. To India, this is very important initiative of the government of India, and we need to work on the research work on the use of the green ammonia in crop production. We have to standardize the protocol. We have to develop the system how we can use this ammonia in crop production. Now come to the precision nutrient management. PNM is very important for enhancing the fertilizer use efficiency like different tools, green seeker, leaf color charts, and 4R receivers, right time, right application. This is very important. This time we have drone for the foliar application, sensor, IoT, machine learning. These are the advancements for enhancing the nutrient or fertilizer use efficiency through this different decision support system. The right tool, right decision, right application for the high nutrient efficiency. And fertigation is also very option, a good option. Here you can see fertigation. In this slide, you can see all we know application of fertilizer with irrigation is known as fertigation, water soluble fertilizer. But here you can see in this here, fertilizer use efficiency, nitrogen efficiency in soil application was only 30 to 50%. But here you can see in fertigation method, you can enhance the fertilizer use efficiency by 95%. Phosphorus efficiency 20 to 45%. Potassium 50 to 80%. These are the important techniques for approach for enhancing the fertilizer use efficiency as well as water productivity. So that's why the government of India is promoting micro irrigation and fertigation system among the farmers. And these are the some case study of the INM, how this INM will enhance the crop, the soil health and productivity across the different cropping system. जितने भी आईएनएम से हमारा जो प्रोडक्टिविटी कैसे बढ़ रहा है स्लाइड में दिखाया जा रहा है इस राइस वीट सिस्टम डिफरेंट सिस्टम आर देयर इफ वी अप्लाई दी 50% RDF and 50% nitrogen through green manuring or FYM, you can enhance the yield 8 to 8.5 ton per hectare. So these are the different case study. Rice chickpea system. There is a yield enhancement over 100% NPK, 7% rice yield, and chickpea 10%. You have to apply only 75% NPK and 5 ton FYM in rice and BG application, and we can use as a PSB. So these are the different case study and different cropping system like groundnut and lentil. Now, this government initiative for promotion of the sustainable and balanced use of fertilizer. This time, as we know, this all ministry, the agriculture ministry is here for creating the awareness about the Khet Bachao Abhiyan, the promotion of the sustainable and balanced use of fertilizer. These are the some initiative of the government of India according to long-term fertilizer experiment of the over the 5 decades shown the continuous use of the nitrogen-based fertilizer alone harm the soil health and crop productivity. Recognizing these drawback or dangers, government has shifted to sustainable agriculture following initiatives which are being implemented like nano fertilizer initiative, nano urea and nano DAP was developed for improving the efficiency. Neem coated urea was introduced for enhancing the efficiency of the urea 10 to 15%. There is one initiative, PM Pranam scheme, Prime Minister program for restoration, awareness, nourishment, and emulsion of the mother earth. This is a government initiative aimed to reduce use of chemical fertilizer and encouraging the balanced nutrient application. It promotes the eco-friendly alternative organic manures, biofertilizer, and compost. The PM Pranam scheme is there. Biofertilizer, organic nutrition promotion, soil health card scheme already is launched by the India government of India, and other supportive measure for the balanced fertilization, digital tools, and strengthening the extension services, farmers training, farmers awareness. This time, this 1 month program is going on, Khet Bachao Abhiyan, under this program to improve the soil health and to save the chemical fertilizer. These are the vision of the our government of India, and these initiatives reflect the government's commitment to sustainable agriculture, balanced fertilization, efficiency, and long-term food and environment security. Now come to the end of the presentation or the stop. Challenges and future direction of INM. Knowledge gaps is there because farmers are not aware different component of the INM. Resource availability is problem of the seeds of the Sasbania, but this time this UP government procured good quantity of the Sasbania and they are distributing free of cost among the farmers. Policy support is very, very important. Without policy support, we cannot promote the integrated nutrient management. Like this time, this policy support is very good. And future direction, we have to develop drone-based technological innovation, research initiative for enrichment of the FOM and other in this we have to develop some new generation fertilizer like this for enhancing the nutrient efficiency like this green ammonia we can use, and collaborative approach also very very important among the farmers and scientists and extension worker. Now come to the conclusion of my presentation. This INM is very good approach for enhancing the soil health and save the fertilizer. We can use all the component of the INM, and this for the healthy soil, higher productivity, greater profitability, reduce the cost, sustainability, and resilient farmers. So these are the concluding remarks of my presentation for improving, and the INM is the cornerstone for the resilient agro-system and the food future for the generation from. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
If you have any question,
Thank you so much, sir, for such an informative session and enlightening us. So participant may pose their questions in the chat box. So if any queries remaining, you may ask. We'll be waiting for 1 to 2 minutes so that they can pose the questions. Although most of question you have already answered.
नो क्वेश्चन, इसका मतलब या तो कुछ समझ में नहीं आया, समझ में आया
सब समझ में आ गया सर, मुझे ऐसा लग
है।
रहा
सर आपने लेक्चर के ड्यूरेशन में वही कुछ क्वेश्चंस एक्सप्लेन कर दिए हैं
है।
आईएनएम
हाँ, एक्चुअली आप
रिलेटेड
एक्सप्लेनेशन साथ साथ चल रहा था ना।
वाले टाइम में।
लेकिन
नाइस
बायलैंग्वेज
प्रेजेंटेशन।
नहीं हो पाया जो आपने बोला था।
फिर उनको
नहीं, लेकिन
आंसर
कुछ
वो
भी
हिंदी
बच्चों,
देने
जैसा
हैं।
ही था,
हाँ,
इजी गोइंग था सर, नो इशू।
इजी टॉप थी, और
एनी
थोड़ा
क्वेरीज
जो
रिमेनिंग
रिसेंट था
पार्टिसिपेंट
वो
पोस्ट
हमने इसमें
पोस्ट
कवर
द
किया, बिकॉज टॉपिक इज वेरी इजी, जो एग्रीकल्चर सब लोग जानता है,
जी।
तो उसको कैसे यूज में लाना है वो थोड़ा डिफिकल्टी है।
if there is no query then we will be moving forward. So thank you so
ओके
much
सर,
sir
थैंक यू सो
for
मच सर।
enlightening us.
थैंक यू, थैंक
Okay.
यू।
So moving forward for the technical session 2, it's my privilege to introduce and welcome the speaker of technical session 2, Dr. Dinesh Kumar. Dr. Dinesh Kumar is an assistant
डॉक्टर
professor
निशा,
cum
वन
junior
क्वेश्चन इज,
scientist.
डॉक्टर निशा, वन क्वेश्चन इज देयर, मे बी somebody is asking,
Okay.
please explain my queries.
Okay, so I think queries are remaining. So I'm repeating the questions of Ankit Kumar Singh. Can INM play a major role in achieving the goals of Food and Agriculture Organization for Sustainable Food System?
यस, नो डाउट, यही तो टॉप थी ना। आईएनएम इज प्ले इम्पोर्टेंट रोल फॉर द सस्टेनेबिलिटी ऑफ द फूड ग्रेन प्रोडक्शन. So this time we have this energy crisis is there now for the fertilizer shortage. That's why government India is promoting the INM Khit Bachao Abhiyan. Anyhow, we have to reduce the 5 to 30% fertilizer consumption. Is a major vision of the.
Next question
And
is, should
can INM
government
effectively apply in urban agriculture and vertical farming? In vertical farming, generally we apply the water soluble fertilizer. And what are the major barrier in implementing INM? Major barrier is the availability of FIM, but I have presented the alternative of the FIM is FOM, fermented organic manure, because it is a byproduct of the CVG plant, and there's a in Reliance industry also set up a target of the 500 biogas plants, so farmers can get it at the rate of 5 rupees kg.
the last question is, should government reduce fertilizer subsidies to promote INM adoption? To promote
दिस इज द
INM.
क्वेश्चन रिगार्ड पॉलिसी क्वेश्चन है, वो कैसे करेंगे या नहीं है उसका ही है। बट हैवी सब्सिडी जा रहा है, आप लोगों ने देखा होगा, नियर अबाउट 1.7 लाख करोड़ रुपीस एवरी ईयर. विदाउट सब्सिडी फार्मर्स कैन नॉट अफोर्ड द फर्टिलाइजर. फार्मर्स को FIM, ग्रीन मैन्योरिंग सब यूज करना चाहिए, उससे कॉस्ट कम करनी. एंड सम फोलियर स्प्रे पे भी जाना चाहिए, 1-2 फोलियर स्प्रे, because this time biostimulants are very very effective for reducing the aviar stress as well as enhancing the crop product like seaweed, sagarika, and some NPK 1919 is there. Very very good response in, we have conducted the experiment in NPK 1919. तो इस सब पे इंटीग्रेटेड अप्रोच फॉलो करना चाहिए.
So I hope your queries are resolved. So thank you so much, sir.
ओके, थैंक यू, थैंक यू.
So now moving forward for the technical session 2, it's my privilege to introduce session 2, Dr. Dinesh Kumar. Dr. Dinesh Kumar is an assistant professor cum junior scientist in the Department of Animal Nutrition, College of Veterinary Science and Animal Husbandry, Birsa Agriculture University, Ranchi, Jharkhand. He obtained his graduation and in BSc Veterinary Science and Animal Husbandry from Anand Agriculture University, Gujarat, and Master in Veterinary Science in Animal Nutrition from the National Dairy Research Institute, Karnal, and PhD in Animal Nutrition from Indian Veterinary Research Institute. His research focuses on non-traditional feed resources, feed additives, and small animal nutrition. He has published over 40 research papers in reputed national and international journals and also contributed extensively through the books, book chapter, technical bulletin, and extension articles. Dr. Kumar is a recipient of several prestigious awards, including FAO Award in 2014, National Talent Scholarship, and ICMR Junior Research Fellowship. He is actively involved in academic administration research project, professional strategies and societies, and capacity building programs for farmers and livestock professionals. Now, I would like to request to Dr. Dinesh to kindly deliver his lecture.
Thank you, Dr. Nisa, for introducing myself. So, very warm good evening to all of you. As you all participants are listening, nice talk since inception of
Sir, may
training
I request
from.
for the slideshow mode? Your slide is visible, but it's on not on slideshow mode.
One
Full
second.
screen. With this, I would like to request you to kindly use the bilingual mode as few students are from Hindi background so that they can also understand.
Okay, no problem. Now is it showing full screen?
Not right now, sir. I think it will
Like
take
a bit.
slide is visible but are not on slideshow mode.
Okay, again I disconnect and try to reconnect.
No, I think it's a network issue maybe.
No issue, but sir, slides are visible. You can increase the zoom size 70 to
Yes,
nearly
yes. We
80
can
or
do that one.
100.
No issue.
That will be okay for the participants because the content is visible to us.
One second. Now is it visible?
Yes, sir, on full screen.
Perfect, sir.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you. So participants are actively engaged or listening all the eminent speakers since inception of the training from 1st June onward. So I just want to divert your attention towards the agriculture to the other area of important aspects like advances in animal nutrition towards sustainable livestock production. So as we know, as per the weather forecast by the government of India Agro-Meteorological Department, this year we are facing the severe El Nino effect. So continuously in North India, there is yet to start of the monsoon. We are facing the irregular monsoon. So if farmer are adopting the farming activities and including the IFS model or animal production model, then definitely they aspirate or they sustain their stress losses in terms of crop failure due to the El Nino effect or erratic monsoon condition. So as we all know that nutrition is important aspects in terms of expenditure in human being also a lot of money diverted towards the nutrition just like animal also having nutrition aspect is more than 80% in terms of feeding of the concentrate. And if we divert their feeding towards the concentrate and roughage, then we can reduce the cost of production of animals and their milk and milk byproducts. So we are heard in previous lecture also and since beginning of the training also sustainable development goal. So what is the sustainable development goal in terms of livestock farming? Just here we are giving the brief introduction. So sustainable development is development that meets the need of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So day by day population densities increases and simultaneously demand of protein is also increases either from the plant sources or either from the animal sources. So here we are just going to discuss about the animal sources of the important nutrient. So livestock sector is the central source for numerous industrial activities like milk and product industries, wool, leather, meat and meat product industries, apparel, feed processing industries, vaccine and diagnostic pharmaceutical. So a lot of entrepreneurship are generated in this sector. And if we can manage the livestock production So it will suffer very less due to the inclement weather condition, unless and until there is severe flood and earthquake is happening in that area. So we can manage their macro climatic condition or environment, yeah, as compared to the crop production. So it gives an immense job creation, value addition, industrialization, and that is more helpful for the inclusive growth. Currently, we have 535 million livestock population in India, and generally our livestock are depends heavily on the poor quality feed resources, crop residue, agro-industrial byproduct, which is produced during the cultivation of the crop. So simultaneously, main principal aim for livestock production is to deliver the safe food for the human consumption. Same pattern in the agriculture sector also, delivering of the safe food to the human consumption. And considering the point animal welfare also, because animal is also life, then their environmental condition, consumer mindset, what consumers need, which type of feed they need, and their food safety issues. So one by one, we throw light on these aspects in the coming slides. So in this slide, just I want to share the position of livestock throughout the world. So in terms of cattle population and goat population, India stands second rank throughout the world, and in buffalo first rank, sheep third rank, camel ninth rank, and poultry fourth rank. So because of their number and intensive production, we also secure rank throughout the world in terms of meat and milk production. Milk production we can see later on. So in this slide, I just want to highlight the importance of imbalance feeding. We'll discuss later on what is the balance feeding, but here just I want to know that what is the different consequences if we go for the imbalance feeding to the animal. So length and longer calving interval is increases in case of animal, then slow growth and delayed age at first calving, shorter productive life in terms of milk production or meat production whatsoever is in the target, then low milk production, lower profit to the farmers, carbon footprint will increase, metabolic disorder, milk fever and ketosis also increases, that ultimately lead to the poor growth and reproduction in case of animals. So here just I want to show the uh, um, major current status of milk and milk product or whatsoever is the livestock product. So in terms of milk production, India stands first rank throughout the world, and we are producing 247 million ton of milk in 2024 and 25. Accordingly, per capita milk is also increases around 3%. Egg production is also increases around 4.5%. Then per capita egg production is 106 eggs per person per annum. So it is also increased by 2.91%. Meat production is also increases 2.46%. And accordingly, their per capita meat availability is also increases 7.51. But although we are below the required level of the protein as per the recommended Indian Council of Medical Research. So per capita availability of meat should be 12 kg per person, but we are here 7.51 only. So there is huge scope or lot of scopes are uh, uh, to increase their production in the future. As compared to the other country, we are just producing per animal per capita milk is very less as compared to other European country. We are just achieving 1,172 kg milk per animal, so which is 50% below the global average as per FAO stat. As compared to New Zealand, 3,343 kg per cow per annum, Australia 5,600, then UK 7,101, US 9,332 kg, Israel also producing more than 10,000 kg per animals. So in terms of meat also, we are just achieving 20 to 60% only. That are shortfall as compared to other country. Here is the world milk status. So India stand the first rank, producing 23% of the total milk production throughout the world, and accordingly, their per capita availability is also increases. So, what is the main reason for this low production in terms of milk, meat, egg, whatsoever is the question? So, what is the main reason behind that low production? So, first and foremost thing is the huge population of the nondescript cow breed that are having below average milk production. Genetic potential is also low. Their feed conversion is also low. Their body makeup are also differ from the high producing animal. Then shortage of feeds and fodder, and their nutritive value is also low because we are heavily dependent on the agro-industrial byproduct feeding to the animals, mainly agriculture waste. So if one times you think that if these animals are ruminant animals are not available, then what happened to these cultural byproduct which are produced hugely after harvesting of the grain? So ruminant animal having the system for digesting all those fibrous feed that are not utilized for the useful production of livestock and their product. Then low fertility rates, destruction of grazing, natural grazing lands. Simultaneously, there is increased human population, also limit the land for the grazing of the animals. Then competition between animals and man for the available feed resources because simultaneously both numbers are increases and we have to fulfill the increasing demand of protein or livestock product to the human population. So here is the steps that can used to enhance the production of livestock for supporting the growing population of human. So first and foremost thing is the feeding of balanced ration. So second is total mixed ration and complete feed block, then mineral mixture or area specific mineral mixture, precision feedings, proper use of modifiers such as enzymes, prebiotics, probiotics, antioxidant, mold inhibitors, and other feed additives. We will discuss later on all those aspects in brief. Then azola, hydroponics or seaweed feeding to the animals, agricultural byproduct, agricultural residue and its treatment to improve the nutritive value. As we all know, that after harvesting of the grain, whatsoever left agriculture residue, if we treat with urea and other feed additives, then definitely their nutritive value will be increases and their digestibility is also enhanced. Then insect-based protein feeding to the animals. This is a new concept because insect and their byproduct like larvae, maggots are rich source of protein. And these are generally used for feeding of the poultry or piggery to increase their protein demands and fulfill their protein demands for better meat production or egg production in case of poultry. Then alternate feed resources, use of unconventional feed resources, reduction of toxin or anti-nutritive factor present in the feed resources, use of improved feed and feed extra processing technique that will lead to the better nutrient utilization. Then forage-based feeding system to the animals, conservation of forage to support green fodder's availability during off-season. So in terms of hay and silage, we discuss later on. Then reducing feed-related emission, mainly methane emission. Yeah, we all know that livestock, including agricultural activities, are also producing huge amount of methane. So how we can reduce this methane by proper feeding to the animal to minimize the greenhouse gas emission? Because government of India are also set the goal or target to reduce the methane emission up to 2035. Then exploiting genetic improvement in animals and feed stuff, that is genetically modified feed. We will discuss later on. Feeding of bypass fat and proteins, then quality controls of the feed whatsoever we offer to the animals. Because whatsoever we offer to the animals, that ultimately consumed by the human being in terms of livestock product. So here is the first and foremost thing is the balance ration. So what is the balance ration? So balanced ration should provide the protein, energy, minerals, vitamin from dry or green fooders or concentrate and mineral supplements in appropriate quantities to enable the animal to perform optimally and remain in the healthy condition. So that is the definition of the balanced ration. So in balanced ration, we have the macronutrient and macronutrient. So macronutrient includes carbohydrate, protein, fats. Macronutrients include trace minerals, vitamins, and feed additives. So as per dietary requirements of the animal, we supply the nutrient so that will support their maintenance, production, and reproduction. So first of all, animal use whatsoever we feed offer to the animal for their maintenance purposes. If their requirement is fulfilled, then that nutrients are diverted towards production in terms of milk, meat, or whatsoever. So here is the steps feeding of poor quality. Why we go for the feeding of balanced ration? So here is the reason. If we go for the feeding of poor quality the fish, that will lead to the more acetate production in rumen, and that will contribute more methane production. And that methane is in the gas form, so it is escape from the rumen environment during the belching or eructation process. So that will lead to the loss of energy. As we all know that methane contains 13.34 kilocalorie energy per gram. So there is ultimately a loss of energy. Then 2 to 15% of gross energy losses due to the methane production, and that will ultimately lead to the global warming. And also it will reduce the synthesis of microbial protein because ruminant animal heavily depends on the synthesis of microbial protein by the microorganism. Because we already discussed that animal, mainly ruminant animal feed is totally different from the monogastric animal feed like poultry or piggery or dog or cat, because their feed are totally depends upon the poor quality of fishes and that are encrusted with the cell wall, cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin, and that cannot be digested by the any enzyme present in the living organism because they are bonds with the beta 1 for the glycosidic bond. And so only beta 1 for glycosidase enzyme that will secreted by the macroorganism that will can only break down these bonds and makes them available for the digestion. That's why that much energy are losses from the ruminant animal. So here is the steps for formulation of the balance or balancing of the ration. So first and foremost thing is the whatsoever feed are available in and around the area where we are going to formulate the ration. And second thing is you must know the nutritive value of their feed. Unless and until you are not knowing the nutritive value and nutrition factor that are present in the feeds, you are not able to mix properly that feeds with concentrate. Then you can also keep in the mind that cost of the feed, because input cost is increases, then definitely they will affect the total earning of the farmers. And nutritional requirement of animal that are necessary to achieve the desired goal, because within that nutritional requirement we can supply all the feed ingredient to fulfill their demands and also lead to the production of milk, meat, or whatsoever the question. Then other requirements or limitations such as the minimum fiber, because fiber are very much essential for synthesis of milk. So here is the steps for formulating the balanced ration or balancing of ration for the lactating dairy animals. So first and foremost thing is not formulate the diet or ration that can maximize the production of milk, because formulating the diet that can efficiently produce good amount of milk and its component that are essential. Because if you formulate the ration that can maximize their production, that may lead to the deficiency of one or more minerals of the animal. So first and foremost thing is the calculate the probable diameter intake of the animal in question. That means if you want to formulate the ration for the lactating animal, or if you want to formulate the ration for the calf, pregnant animal. So first of all, you calculate the diameter intake. Then second is the nutrient requirement of the animal. And third one is the determine the amount of available ingredient, because you have to mix all those things and that ingredient should fulfill their diameter requirement or intakes. So here is the steps strategy for increasing the or for fulfilling the balanced ration. The first thing is the precise determination of the nutrient requirement कितना है उसको निकालना है. उसके बाद एनर्जी का डिमांड कितना है वो देखना है, प्रोटीन का डिमांड कितना है वो देखना है, साथ साथ जो है मिनरल्स एंड विटामिन को भी देखना है. इस तरह से वी कैन formulate the ration that can fulfill the nutritional requirement of the animal in the question. Here is the advantage और बेनिफिट्स ऑफ फीडिंग द बैलेंस राशन और बैलेंसिंग ऑफ द राशन. क्या क्या उससे जो है फायदा हो सकता है. पहला है कि आपका मिल्क यील्ड बढ़ जाएगा, साथ साथ दूध का जो फैट परसेंटेज वो भी बढ़ जाएगा, उसका ग्रोथ और रिप्रोडक्शन का रेट जो है बढ़ जाएगा, लैक्टेशन लेंथ है दूध देने की जो अवधि है वो बढ़ जाएगा आपका, काविंग का जो इंटरवल है वो आपका घट जाएगा. जैसे एक दूसरे काविंग में जैसे 12 महीना 14 महीना का इंटरवल है तो घट के आपका कम हो जाएगा. देन रिडक्शन ऑफ मेटाबॉलिक डिसऑर्डर, जैसे मिल्क फीवर और कीटोसिस होता है बयाने के बाद हाई प्रोड्यूसिंग एनिमल, उसको भी हम कम कर सकते हैं. यंग एनिमल का ग्रोथ रेट जो है आपका बढ़ जाएगा. एज ऑफ फर्स्ट काविंग जो है वो जल्दी आ जाएगा यदि आपका बैलेंस राशन फीडिंग हो तो. जैसे कि कैटल के केस में, देसी गाय गाय के केस में 30 से 35 महीना लगता है फर्स्ट टाइम काविंग में आने के लिए. इस तरह से यदि आप बैलेंस करके उसको घटा के 28 महीने में भी आप ले आ सकते हैं. देन उसका प्रोडक्टिव लाइफ है वो बढ़ जाएगा आपका. इन्वायरमेंटल पोल्यूटेंट है उसको आप घटा सकते हैं, क्योंकि एज वी ऑल नो दैट if there is unbalanced feeding to the animals then lots of mineral are secreted through urine and feces. जैसे कि फॉस्फोरस और कैल्शियम एक्सक्रीट होता है आपका फिशेज के द्वारा, डंग के द्वारा, और ये यदि रन ऑफ वाटर से आपका जाता है जमा होता है कहीं तो देखते हैं वहां पे अलग अलग ब्लूम हो जाता है, मीन्स इट्रोफिकेशन होता है, बहुत ज्यादा मात्रा में आपका जलकुंभ या कहीं भी ग्रोथ हो जाता है ड्यू टू enrichment of that water with the minerals. So if you go for the feeding of balanced ration, then definitely you can reduce the environment pollutant that are released in the environment. Then a higher profit to the farmers, क्योंकि उसका प्रोडक्शन अच्छा होगा तो बेनिफिट अच्छा होगा. Then second step is the total mixed ration or complete feed block feeding to the animals. So good feeding management practice or most important additional intake factor to consider during the rationing of the animals are, पहला देखना है कि बॉडी कंडीशन स्कोर क्या है उसका, तभी हम बनाएंगे वो किस स्टेज ऑफ लैक्टेशन में, पहला स्टेज है, दूसरा है या तीसरा बयान की है वो देखना है. उसके बाद जो भी हम फॉडर दे रहे हैं एनिमल को उसका क्वालिटी क्या है वो चेक करना है. जैसे लेग्यूमिनस फॉडर है तो उसमें प्रोटीन की मात्रा ज्यादा है तो उस तरह से खिलाना है. फिर सीरियल्स फॉडर है तो उसमें प्रोटीन की मात्रा कम है, जैसे सोरगम मेज हो गया आपका, सीरियल्स हो गया, लेग्यूमिनस में ल्यूसन हो गया, बरसिम हो गया, कॉफी हो गया, सनफ्लावर हो गया, मस्टर्ड हो गया. देन फीड प्रोटीन लेवल कितना है वो चेक करना है. मेथड ऑफ फीडिंग क्या है, किस तरह हम खिला रहे हैं वो भी चेक करना है. जैसे कि आप इंडिविजुअल फीडिंग कर रहे हैं या टोटल मिक्स करके सानी बना के दे रहे हैं, या फिर कंसंट्रेटेड रफेज मिक्स करके देते हैं, या फिर ड्राई रफेज ओनली देते हैं और ग्रीन पाउडर देते हैं, और डाइट का प्रेजेंटेशन किस फॉर्म में आप दे रहे हैं ये ध्यान में रखना है. तभी जो है आप अचीव कर सकते हैं अच्छा जो है एनिमल प्रोडक्शन आपको मेंटेन कर सकते हैं. उसके बाद नेक्स्ट है मिनरल मिक्सर, बिकॉज वी ऑल नो दैट मिनरल इज वेरी मच इसेंशियल. क्योंकि मिनरल जो है आपका आपके बॉडी का जितना भी मेटाबॉलिक रिएक्शन है, या बीएमआर बेसल मेटाबॉलिक रिएक्शन, इधर आपका डाइजेशन हो, हार्ट भी हो, रिस्पायरेशन, जो भी एक्टिविटीज हो, ब्लड आपका ऑक्सीजनेशन डीऑक्सीजनेशन लंग्स लेवल पे होता है, सभी लेवल पे जो है आपका मिनरल विटामिन की जरूरत होती है इन टर्म्स ऑफ को एंजाइम और को फैक्टर। तो सुचारू रूप से आपके बॉडी की एक्टिविटी को चलाने के लिए, एनिमल की एक्टिविटी को चलाने के लिए, आपका बीएमआर कंट्रोल करने के लिए, बॉडी का टेम्परेचर कंट्रोल करने के लिए मिनरल की आवश्यकता होती है इन टर्म्स ऑफ कोफैक्टर और कोएंजाइम। सो मिनरल्स आर प्रेजेंट इन द फीड्स एंड फोडर। और आप जानते हैं कि फीड्स और फोडर में तभी मिनरल आएगा जब वो सॉइल में मिनरल है। और सॉइल में यदि आपका मिनरल डिफिसिट है तो डेफिनेटली देयर इज डिफिशियंसी इन द feeds and fodder, because feeds and fodder are grown on that soil only. So we can keep in the mind where we are growing the feeds and fodder, or where we are taking from those to the feeding of the animals. Accordingly, you can feed the minerals if they are deficient in that area. Deficiency of mineral is an area-specific problem, and it may ranges from 20 to 70% in the case of macro mineral, especially in case of cattle and calcium and phosphorus. And that will also lead to the effect on their growth, milk production, pregnancy. If there is any deficiency of minerals in feeds and fodder are seen. So here is the role of minerals for growth, health, and reproduction. So like mineral copper हो गया आपका, मैग्नीज हो गया, आयरन हो गया, that are trace minerals or macro minerals act through enzyme cofactor, hormones, vitamins, metallocoenzymes, and that are essential for your carbohydrate, protein, fat, molecule, जितना भी एक्टिविटीज है अभी बताए हैं, epithelial integrity, reproduction, immune system, oxygen transport, cell proliferation, bone development, cell protection, hemoglobin formation. So all those activities require the minerals. And if any deficiency occurs in feeding of the animals, that will definitely lead to the decreased performance of the animals. Reproductive performance will be poor. Hoof and other health are very poor. Animals are susceptible towards the infection. Slow wound healing, hair, skin, feathering problems are also seen due to deficiency of the mineral. So here I just want to show the deficiency of mineral throughout the India in the map. So specific minerals are deficient or excess depending upon the regions, hilly region, northern region, southern region, and that will depend upon the geographical area. So here is the deficiency in terms of feed stuff. जैसे northern region में कौन कौन सा deficiency होता है, western region, southern region और eastern region. So more or less there is severe deficiency of mineral throughout India up to 10 to 70%. Accordingly, feeds and fodders are also deficient. So क्रॉप में जैसे कि आप फर्टिलाइजर सप्लाई करके या न्यूट्रिएंट मैनेजमेंट का भी पढ़े हैं, इंटीग्रेटेड न्यूट्रिएंट मैनेजमेंट, यू कैन मैनेज दैट वे। अब यदि आप ग्रेन को मैनेज करते हैं इस तरह से, या फिर फूडर आप ग्रोथ करते हैं एनिमल के लिए, देन अकॉर्डिंगली यू कैन स्प्रे। one point is that one. Otherwise, you can also manage this deficiency through supplementation of area specific mineral mixture to the animal. So deficient mineral depending upon the agroeconomic zones or eco zones, first limiting minerals or second limiting minerals. So more or less there is copper and zinc deficiency throughout the India, like rain-fed regions, irrigated regions, arid regions, semi-arid region, coastal region, hill and mountain regions. So here is the table that are showing the required level of the different minerals in animals for their efficient production in terms of macro mineral and macro minerals. So providing the animals, here is the precision feeding to the animals. So providing the animals with the feed that precisely meets its nutritional requirement. जैसे कि आप अभी पहले के स्पीकर बताए हैं कि न्यूट्रिएंट कैसे मैनेज करते हैं सॉइल में, precisely same situation you can maintain or you can take care of the feeds and feeding to the animals. So providing the animal with the feed that precisely meets its nutritional requirement, जितना requirement है बस उतना ही, for their optimum productive efficiency, to produce better quality animal products, and to contribute cleaner environment and thereby ensure the higher profitability to the farmers. तो जितना न्यूट्रिएंट का रिक्वायरमेंट है एनिमल उसी के अकॉर्डिंगली फॉर्मुलेट करेंगे और फीडिंग करेंगे एनिमल को, तो डेफिनेटली वी कैन इंक्रीज द प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी टू द फार्मर. सो इट इज ए वन टूल है फॉर इफेक्टिव यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ द available feed resources with the aim of maximizing the animal response to nutrients for economic production. This is the tool. Sorry for interruption. So it is a precision feeding is one of the tool that effectively used for the utilization of the available feed resources with the aim of maximizing the animal's response to nutrient for economic production. So how we can improve the feeding to the animals? So improve feeding processing technique. किस तरह से हम एनिमल को खिलाते हैं, कि फीड को कैसे प्रोसेसिंग करते हैं, वो ध्यान रखना है. Then strategic supplementation of critical nutrients. Then precise ration formulation, implementing phase feedings, use of feed additives, and systematic manipulation of metabolism. So these are the different aspects that can consider during the formulation of precise feeding to the animals. So how can improve the feeding of poor quality agro-industrial byproduct or agricultural waste? So increase the voluntary feed intake to the animals, increase digestibility, increase availability of nutrients, remove anti-nutritional factors that are present in the feeds or fooders, increase production by treating the physical, chemical, or microbial method. So we can throw light on that one, because if you go for the feeding of poor quality phases like straw, barley straw, maize straw, sorghum straw, so it is better to treat that waste with the urea or any other microbial to increase their digestibility and nutrient utilization. Another step is the feed additives, enzymes, prebiotics, probiotics, symbiotics, antioxidant, mold inhibitor. So here is the prebiotics or probiotics, symbiotics we can discuss later on. So these are the prebiotics. So how it works? It is useful for the increasing the numbers of the probiotic present in the gut health of the animals. So it helps in the increase in the number of good bacteria or good microorganisms in the animals. We are also consuming this one, prebiotic or probiotic, during the disturbances of gut health, especially in case of diarrhea or severe dehydration. So disaccharide like lactulose or lactitol. So it is origin is lactosynthesis. Then oligosaccharide like fructooligosaccharides, galactooligosaccharides, mannanoligosaccharides, transgalactooligosaccharides, inulin, all are prebiotic that are used for increasing the number of probiotic organisms present in the animals. So what is the different characteristic feature? So resistant to the upper gut tract, fermentation by the intestinal microbiota that should not be fermented in the rumen, beneficial to the host animal, selective stimulation of probiotics, stability to food processing treatments. Inulin and FOS successfully fulfill all the criteria termed as true prebiotics. So other are also known as the possible or likely prebiotics. So only inulin and fructooligosaccharides fulfill this characteristic feature and acts as a true representative of the prebiotics. Then here is the probiotics. So different genus and species are used to increase the digestibility or nutrient utilization in case of ruminant animal. So Lactobacillus, Bifidobacterium, Streptococcus, Enterococcus, Pulvitella, Bacillus, yeast, fungi, Aspergillus, all are used for the increasing the nutrient utilization in case of ruminant animal. So here is the plant secondary metabolites. This is nitrogen containing secondary products, alkaloid, nicotines, morphine, cocaine, caffeine, glucosides, all are present in feeds and fodder. Like phenolic compounds आपका flavonoids हो गया, anthocyanins हो गया, salicylic acids हो गया, lignin हो गया, terpenes में आपका limonides हो गया, saponins and pines हो गया. So all are phenolic compounds that directly or indirectly manipulate or interfere the रुमेन मैक्रोऑर्गेनिज्म जिससे बैक्टीरिया फंजाई प्रोटोजोआ मिथोजिन रहता है और दैट विल इंक्रीज द फीड इन फाइबर डाइजेशन एंड डिक्रीज द मेथेन प्रोडक्शन एंड इंक्रीज द न्यूट्रिएंट यूटिलाइजेशन इन केस ऑफ एनिमल. So next step is azolla hydroponics feeding or CUD feeding to the animals. We, as all know that azolla blue green algae that are very rich in the crude protein content. Almost 23% crude protein are present, and high amount of total ash, that means mineral matter, are present in azolla. So in that way, if we supply the and this to the animals, yeah, the supplement, protein supplement especially, then definitely we can increase their nutrient utilization and fulfill their nutrient requirement. So another method is in feeding of the azolla or hydroponics seaweeds to the animal. Next step is agricultural byproduct feeding. So as we all know that agricultural byproducts are very widely varying in the nutrient value. जैसे कि आपका एग्रीकल्चर बाय प्रोडक्ट में व्हीट है तो उसका बहुत सारा बाय प्रोडक्ट है. व्हीट ब्रान हो गया, ठीक है, राइस ब्रान हो गया, ड्यूअल राइस ब्रान हो गया. लेकिन उसी का आपका स्ट्रॉ है दैट आर वेरी पुअर इन द न्यूट्रिएंट, लेकिन उसका जो प्रोडक्ट है उसका बहुत ज्यादा न्यूट्रिएंट होता है. सो एटलीस्ट वी शुड नो दिस थिंग. देन पॉसिबल पेस्टिसाइड कंटामिनेशन क्या क्या हो सकता है, क्योंकि इफ यू यूज हाईली high dose or amount of pesticide for crop production, then definitely their byproduct, either seeds or seed grain byproduct whatsoever, or their residue like husk, stem whatsoever is also reaching the pesticide. So accordingly, we can think and plan for feeding to the animal. Then possible low palatability because there is rich in the fiber content, so they are not able to digest properly, so their digestibility will be reduces. Then possible presence of toxic substances that are present in the feeds. Another aspect is genetically modified feed resources for animals. Genetically modified feed resources, as we all know, globally, genetically modified feed resources are producing for fulfilling the demand of human also and animal also. So throughout the world, US is holding the first position in terms of production of biotechnologically grown crop. Then Argentina, Brazil, and India are very low, 5 to 7% only. For most of the crop, mainly soybean, then cotton, maize, then cotton and rapeseeds are growing throughout the world to fulfill their nutritional requirement and while to the human being and animals also. So here are genetically modified crop and their trait which are used for the modification and transgene which are altered. So mainly crop like maize, wheat, sorghum, soybean, potato, cassava, tomato, cotton, canola, and alfalfa are generally recommended genetically modified crops, fruits, vegetable, and other crops for production. And India are still uh, giving the permission for production of that huge number of genetically modified crop. And one of the best example is cotton, British cotton. So that are pest resistant and herbicide tolerant. So state like Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Gujarat also introducing that one earlier, and there after the removal of the wire from cotton, that cake are recommended for the feeding of the animal also. Then reduction of toxic and anti-nutritional factors that are present in the agro-industrial byproduct. So a lot of positive substances are present like glass, metals, plastic, and woods that are mainly come into the feeds or feed byproduct through handling at various stages of production or processing. Then contamination of minerals source, food byproduct or fish byproduct, dioxin, benzofurans, and polychlorinated बाइफिनॉल्स माइकोटॉक्सिन हो गया आपका, वो सब भी प्रेजेंट हो सकता है। ये सब ड्यूरिंग हैंडलिंग या इम्प्रॉपर स्टोरेज ऑफ द फीड होता है, उस समय में प्रोडक्शन होता है। वेटनरी ड्रग का भी रेसिड्यू जो है आपका रहता है, जब ट्रीटमेंट के करते हैं तो उसको प्रॉपर लैगिंग पीरियड नहीं देते हैं, तो फिर आपका ड्रग का भी रेसिड्यू जो है मिल्क प्रोडक्ट और अदर प्रोडक्ट में आ सकते हैं। अदर जैसे कि क्लोराइन पेस्टिसाइड्स हो गया, या फिर डीडीटी, हेक्साक्लोरोबेंजीन्स हो गया, अर्लेरिन हो गया। माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म में जैसे ब्रुसेल्ला साल्मोनेला हो गया, या इंडोपैरासाइट्स हो गया। उसी तरह आपका मेटल्स में लेड, मरकरी, कैडमियम, फ्लोरीन पॉइजनिंग हो सकता है थ्रू आउट द हैंडलिंग, स्टोरेज, प्री हार्वेस्टिंग, हार्वेस्टिंग time of the crop or their byproducts. Here is a different observer or scientist reported the feed and food, milk especially, or milk product contaminated by the mycotoxin is one of the key factor responsible for the creating food insecurity for the human beings. बिकॉज किसी भी स्टेप पे जो है कंटामिनेशन हो सकता है यदि हम प्रॉपर उसको स्टोरेज नहीं कर सकते, हार्वेस्टिंग नहीं करते हैं, या प्री हार्वेस्टिंग मैनेजमेंट नहीं करते, या ड्यूरिंग हार्वेस्टिंग या पोस्ट हार्वेस्टिंग केयर नहीं करते हैं। सो थ्रू आउट द वर्ल्ड 1/4 crop is affected by the mycotoxin. So risk of aflatoxin contamination is generally higher in geographical region with tropical or subtropical climate. So mainly 3 genera of fungus, mainly Aspergillus, Fusarium, or Penicillium, are responsible for the mycotoxin contamination of feeds. So here are the different mycotoxin, जैसे aflatoxin हो गया, वो कौन सा aflatoxin का species, macroorganism का that are grown on the cereal byproduct, wild cake, peanut, and responsible for the mycotoxicosis in case of animals or human being. Toxin हो गया, immunosins हो गया, and different causative agents that are grown on different crops. And how they affect, because we know that through any contamination, through feed ingredient, compound feed, contamination of water, aflatoxin कुछ भी हो, that will ingested by the animals, other poultry हो गया, cattle हो गया, sheep goat हो गया, and they produce their end product, like poultry produces egg, cattle, sheep goat produces meat or meat product, milk, उसमें आ गया, and that are consumed ultimately by the human beings, and that lead to the toxicity of human also. So in that way, directly mycotoxin goes into the end user. So here is the consequences or effect of mycotoxin. So it is also carcinogenic in nature. Hepatotoxic means damaging the liver. Then teratogenic in nature, immunotoxic in nature, mutagenic in nature. Okay. Then here is the permissible level of aflatoxin as per US FDA 2019, in India BIS or FSSAI or European Union. So in terms of cattle, dairy animals or immature animals, only 20 ppb of aflatoxin is permissible. In case of milk or milk product, 0.5 ppb. In India also 0.5 ppb, और in European और strict rule है वहाँ पे 0.05 ppb only are allowed in case of milk. So if we control the aflatoxin through good agricultural practices during pre-harvest measurement, then during harvesting and post-harvesting measurement, then definitely we can control the aflatoxin in case of human also, or in case of animal also. So by using this technique or steps, we can manage the aflatoxin in pre-harvest, during harvesting or post-harvesting level. Here is the method how can alleviate the aflatoxin present in the feeds. So physical method, chemical action, biological methods. In that way, we can minimize the aflatoxin level present in the feeds. So different processing technique. So fertilizer, reducing particle size, urea, ammonia treatments, enzyme treatments, and multi-nutrient block. So by using this one, we can improve the quality whatsoever we can provide to the animals. Another steps is the green fodder feeding to the animals. So as we all know that green forage or veggies are coarse, bulky in nature, and ruminant animals are well adapted due to their symbiotic relationship of the macroorganisms, mainly bacteria, fungus, protozoa, bacteriophage, and yeast. So if we can go for the feeding of green fodder to the animal, then in that way we can reduce their cost of production. So forage is the economical source of nutrient, especially giving the energy. So 65% of the total expenditure of the milk is attributed to the feeding on the mixed ration of concentrate and green forage to the crossbreed animals. And if you go for the feeding of only concentrate and dry fodder, then 83% cost will come to manage the animals. And if you go for the green fodder ration based feeding, then we can reduce up to the 40% of the cost of total feeding. So green fodder generally maintain the normal health and reproduction to the animals, and it is easily digestible, palatable, and light-weight in nature, and provide the fresh nutrient in most natural form, resulting in efficient utilization of the feed without any stress or strain on the body of the animals. So there is a lot of variation in the nutrient content of the food which is grown in the area as per geographical location. So there is species differences, variety differences, strain differences of the plant. Then what part of the plant we are offering to the animal, which stage of the harvesting we are following, which type of fertilization and soil characteristics are there. Then it also affect on the climate, weather, and season change during the preservation, processing, and storage. Then voluntary intake of the animals are also affected by both plants and animal factor. And digestibility of the nutrient depends upon chemical composition of the forage, स्टेज मैच्योरिटी का फॉरेज का उस पर डिपेंड करता है, फिजिकल फॉर्म क्या है फॉरेज का उस पर डिपेंड, जैसे कि हम चॉपिंग करके देते हैं या सच खिलाते हैं, ये ड्राई फॉर्म में देते हैं या उसको मिक्स फॉर्म में देते हैं, प्रोसेसिंग और प्रिजर्वेशन क्या करते हैं उस पर भी डिपेंड करता है, एनिमल क्या है स्पीसीज का उस पर डिपेंड करता है, और फिजियोलॉजिकल कंडीशन क्या है एनिमल का, जैसे एनिमल इज इन हेल्थी कंडीशन और इल हेल्थ कंडीशन, डायरिया, डिसेंट्री क्या है उस पर डिपेंड करता है. देन एफिशिएंसी ऑफ यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ डाइजेस्टेड न्यूट्रिएंट. So here is the different pattern of feeding to the animal, exclusive with the roughage, या grazing supplementary with the concentrate, एक्सक्लूसिवली फॉरेज बेस्ड भी फीडिंग कर सकते हैं, ड्राई फॉडर पे या ग्रीन पे या मिक्स में कर सकते हैं, स्टॉल में खिला सकते हैं, कंपाउंड फीड के साथ में दे सकते हैं. अंडर स्टेप कंजर्वेशन ऑफ फॉरेज टू सपोर्ट द ग्रीन फॉडर अवेलेबिलिटी ड्यूरिंग ऑफ सीजन. आज वी ऑल नो जैसे कि थ्रू आउट द आपका फॉडर का प्रोडक्शन नहीं होता है, यदि हाई प्रोड्यूसिंग जिस समय में होता है या फिर आपका सरप्लस जिस समय में फॉडर का प्रोडक्शन होता है, तो उस समय में यदि हम हे बना के या साइलेज बना के यदि उसको प्रिजर्व करके रख लेते हैं, तो इसका अवेलेबिलिटी जो है सालों भर आप एनिमल की डिमांड को जो पूरा कर सकते हैं. साइलेज के लिए जो है प्लांट जिसमें सबसे ज्यादा कार्बोहाइड्रेट है वो मोर सुटेबल होता है, जैसे कि मेज है तो उसमें जो है हार्वेस्ट जो होता है डाउ स्टेज पे करते हैं, ओट में जो है मिल्क स्टेज पे करते हैं, उसमें वाटर सोल्यूबल कार्बोहाइड्रेट का मात्रा बहुत ज्यादा है. बफरिंग कैपेसिटी मीन्स की लो प्रोटीन कंटेंट उसमें होता है. आइडियल डायमीटर जो है 3 से 40% होना चाहिए साइलेज बनाने के लिए. सो दैट इज द कंडीशन फॉर मेकिंग द साइलेज. सो जनरली थिक स्टेम जितना मोटा अनाज वाला है, जैसे मक्का हो गया, sorghum हो गया आपका, या फिर आपका क्या कहते हैं, मिक्स sorghum आता है, सो दैट आर यूज फॉर द मेकिंग ऑफ सैलेड्स, क्योंकि कार्बोहाइड्रेट का मात्रा ज्यादा होता है। और जितना भी थिन स्टेम वाला है, पतला स्टेम वाला है, जैसे सोल्यूशन हो गया, बरसीम हो गया, कॉफी हो गया, इसका आप हे बना के आप सालों भर खिला सकते हैं ग्रीन फॉडर या सच एनिमल को। अनदर स्टेप इज रिड्यूसिंग द फीड रिलेटेड एमिशन, मेनली मीथेन एमिशन। सो सभी प्रवक्ता आपको पहले भी बता चुके हैं कि एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड से, जैसे राइस कल्टीवेशन से स्पेशली जो है मीथेन का बहुत ज़्यादा प्रोडक्शन होता है। उसी तरह एनिमल में जो है डंग का हैंडलिंग से बहुत ज़्यादा मीथेन का प्रोडक्शन होता है। फिर आपका जो है रूमेन में जो है आपका मीथेन बनता है, उससे होता है। तो सबसे ज़्यादा थ्रू आउट द वर्ल्ड जो है चाइना इज प्रोड्यूसिंग मोस्ट ऑफ द ग्रीन हाउस गैसेस। इंडिया इज प्रोड्यूसिंग ओनली 7.3% ऑफ ग्रीन हाउसेज गैसेस। लेकिन इंडिया में पॉपुलेशन लाइव स्टॉक का ज्यादा, इसलिए जो है थ्रू आउट द वर्ल्ड इज देयर इज ह्यू एंड ट्राई दैट इंडिया इज नॉट रिड्यूसिंग द देयर लाइव स्टॉक प्रोडक्शन टू मिनिमाइज द emission of the greenhouse gases. So यदि बैलेंस फीडिंग करते हैं एनिमल को, तो डेफिनेटली वी कैन रिड्यूस द ग्रीन हाउस गैस emission पर कैपिटा। जैसे CO2 emission अपना 1.7 है ओनली, कनाडा हो गया आपका, चाइना हो गया 7.1 है, या USA हो गया, वी आर प्रोड्यूसिंग वेरी लेस ग्रीन हाउस गैसेज पर कैपिटा। मीथेन प्रोडक्शन जैसे आपका लाइव स्टॉक से होता है, मेनली इंटेरिक फर्मेंटेशन से होता है, 10.65 टीगा ग्राम पर ईयर है। कैटल में आपका 51% मिथेन प्रोडक्शन होता है टोटल मिथेन प्रोडक्शन का, बफेलो में 42%, चिकन में 2%, गोट में 4.2%, और अदर लाइव स्टॉक जो है वो 0.6% प्रोडक्शन होता है। सो कौन सा डिफरेंट मेथड है दैट विल इन्फ्लुएंस और हैविंग डायरेक्ट इम्पैक्ट ऑफ मिथेन प्रोडक्शन? बैलेंस फीडिंग यदि हम करते हैं, या कार्बोहाइड्रेट किस तरह का हम डाइट में देते हैं, वो मिथेन प्रोडक्शन को घटाता है। कंसंट्रेट और ऑफिस का क्या रेशियो है, वो उस पर डिपेंड करता है। कितना हम एनिमल को खिलाते हैं, फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ फीडिंग क्या है, उस पर डिपेंड करता है। किस तरह का फैट हम देते हैं उसके डाइट में, जैसे सेचुरेटेड देते हैं या अनसेचुरेटेड देते हैं। एनिमल का स्पीसीज कौन है, क्योंकि स्पीसीज वाइज जो है इसका टॉलरेंस यूटिलाइजेशन डिफर करता है। देन एनिमल प्रोडक्शन लेवल क्या है, प्रोड्यूसिंग एनिमल में है लेस मिथेन प्रोडक्शन होता है, क्योंकि मोस्ट ऑफ द एनर्जी इज डाइवर्टेड टुवर्ड द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ द मिल्क। पैसेज रेट क्या है फीड का, एनवायरमेंटल और टेम्परेचर क्या है, जेनेटिक फैक्टर क्या है एनिमल का, दैट ऑल पॉइंट्स affect the directly or indirectly the methane production. So this is the strategy, कैसे हम मिथेन प्रोडक्शन को घटा सकते हैं। जैसे डाइट मैनिपुलेशन हो गया, मैनेजमेंटल कंडीशन हो गया, और वुमेन मैनिपुलेशन हो गया। एनिमल को नंबर को कम करके हम कर सकते हैं, फूड का क्वालिटी को बढ़ा के हम घटा सकते हैं मिथेन प्रोडक्शन। अल्टरनेट लाइव स्टॉक प्रोडक्शन को भी बढ़ा करके घटा सकते हैं। इफिशियंसी उसका यदि हम बढ़ाते हैं यूटिलाइजेशन का, न्यूट्रिएंट का, तो हम घटा सकते हैं मिथेन का प्रोडक्शन। एंड लास्ट पॉइंट इज द क्वालिटी, क्योंकि now consumers are more aware about the quality product and they are willing to produce the huge or higher price towards the quality product. तो यदि आपका कंटामिनेशन है आपका फीड फॉडर में, या फिर दैट कंटामिनेशन अल्टीमेटली अफेक्ट द एनिमल प्रोडक्ट, तो यदि आपका क्वालिटी कंट्रोल है आपके फीड और फॉडर का, डेफिनेटली आपका क्वालिटी कंट्रोल होगा एनिमल फीड्स का। फिर उसके साथ जब जो उसका प्रोडक्शन जो होगा, उस प्रोडक्शन का क्वालिटी कंट्रोल रहेगा, वो अच्छा क्वालिटी का रहेगा, और उसका फैच जो है, उसका जो इनकम जो है फार्मर को ज्यादा मिलेगा। जैसे कि ग्राउंड नेट में कंटामिनेशन हो सकता है, मस्टर्ड केक में, सोयाबीन मील में, डीवाइल राइस ब्रान, व्हीट ब्रान में, मिनरल मिक्सर में, मोलासेज में, मेज और राइस कने में, ये डिफरेंट इंग्रेडिएंट जो है मिक्स करते हैं, क्योंकि वो मोर प्रॉफिट कमाना चाहता है, व्यापारी होता है जो आपको सप्लाई करता है ये सब। तो यू सेट अवेयर, आपको जानकारी रहना चाहिए। जिसके मस्टर्ड में आप जानते हैं कि आरजी मोना मिक्स चना का जो है सीड बहुत ज्यादा मिक्स पहले भी हुआ था, तेल में भी मिक्स किया था ये, जिसके कारण प्रॉब्लम भी हुआ था। इस तरह से जो है चीप क्वालिटी का प्रोडक्ट जब मिक्स करते हैं ओरिजिनल क्वालिटी में, टू फेच द मोर मनी दैट लीड टू द एडल्ट्रेशन। ठीक है, सो दैट इज द माय एंड ऑफ माय लेक्चर। एंड गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया आल्सो फोकसिंग, जैसे आप 19 दिन में अभी तक आप डिस्कशन हुआ होगा या पढ़े हुएगा, नेचुरल फार्मिंग और ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग। So unless and until you have the livestock, you cannot imagine the natural farming और organic farming। क्योंकि जो भी आप चना क्या अमृत बनाते हैं, वो टोटली डिपेंडेंट होता है आपका ऑर्गेनिक प्रोडक्ट में, जैसे कि कॉटन हो गया, यूरिन हो गया, व्हीट फ्लोर हो गया, राइस फ्लोर, जो भी फ्लोर यूज करते हैं, गुड़ यूज करते हैं, ठीक है, टू प्रिपेयर द Vijamrit, and that are supply into the agricultural field to increase the more amount of organic matter. कार्बन कंटेंट को हम बढ़ाते हैं ताकि उसका यूटिलाइजेशन हो सकता है. So one of the famous quote of the Dr. Varghese Kurian is, give 8 hours to the daily farming, 8 hours to the family, and 8 hours for the good sleep. That will lead to the success of any farm. So this is the end of my presentation. So if you have any query, then you are most welcome, and I can take your query to explain better.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us. So there are few queries from participants. Ankit Kumar Singh. How does improving nutrients use efficiency in livestock diet contribute to both environmental sustainability and farm profitability?
Kindly, your voice is not so much audible, Dr. Nisa.
My voice? Let me check. Am I
Kindly
audible?
repeat. Kindly repeat the question.
There are three queries. Those
Voice is not clear. Voice is not clear, Dr. Nisha.
my voice is not clear.
Voice is not clear, Dr. Nisha. Increase your volume.
Okay. There are three queries from the participants.
नहीं आ रही,
Okay,
नहीं
okay.
आ रही.
I think nahi aa rahi,
नहीं.
so I think I have to mute myself.
Increase your volume.
Is it audible now?
Very low.
I don't know why, because my settings are common.
नहीं आ रही. Not clear. Not clear.
Not clear. So I think you can see
हाँ हाँ, अब थोड़ा
the
ठीक लग रहा है.
queries in chat box.
जी.
So there are three queries. How does improving nutrients use efficiency in livestock diet contribute to both environmental sustainability and farm profitability?
Okay. So
First
yes,
question.
we already know that integrated nutrient management in case of soil also by earlier speaker. Same situation in case of animal. So if we are offering the unbalanced feed to the animal, then there is disturbance in the nutrient utilization, and more of the nutrients are lost through the urine in the feces. And that nutrient comes in the environment and goes into the municipal water or irrigation whatsoever. That will enrich the particular area with the calcium and phosphorus and increase the growth of the mainly phytoplankton, जैसे आपका जलकुंभी है, कुछ plants है. So lead to the eutrophication and decrease the oxygen content in nutrient in water for the organism present in the water. So in that way, if we go for the nutrient management or balance feeding to the animal, we can definitely increase the profitability and health status of the animal. Initially, we can decrease the environmental problem. So in that way, we can balance the damage which is caused by the unbalanced feeding to the animals for the sustainable livestock production and more profitability.
So the
Next question.
next query is, how do underfeeding and overfeeding simultaneously exist in the Indian livestock system, and what systemic change are needed to address both?
Yeah, so overfeeding is very rarely seen in case of animal. Generally, we are is underfeeding condition because of the shortage of grain fodder and concentrate, or dry fodder also in some part of the India. So these fodders mainly rich in the high fiber content, especially cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin, and that are not properly digested by the animals. So feeding again lead to the less production of the animal because energy are mostly diverted toward the methane production. And due to underfeeding, both production decreases and there is losses of energy from the animal. So that's why there is low production of animal in case of India per capita production. So if you go for the feeding of balance ration, that we already discussed 20 point in more detail forms. So in that way we can increase the production of animal to address the uh, deficiency condition of mainly nutrient in case of animals. Next one.
So last but not the least query is, in what ways can animal nutrition be optimized to reduce methane emission without compromising productivity in ruminants?
Yeah, this is the pertinent question nowadays, and most of the scientists are giving the focus, and a lot of discussion are happening throughout the world, especially in case of IPCC meeting, to reduce the global greenhouse gas emission. India is also targeting to reduce 48% of methane up to 2035. So, if you go for the feeding of balance in terms of energy, protein, minerals, and vitamin, as per their requirement only, not for overfeeding. As for their production only, precise feeding to the animal. So how much nutrient are required to maintain their production? Suppose that animals are giving the 10 kg of milk, and their requirement is only 10 kg of dry matter, yet the percentage or 2.5% of their body weight. So up to 10 kg only, we have to fulfill all the nutrients that are helpful to maintain their production of 10 liter of milk. So if we supply balanced ration along with the managemental practices and environmental condition, we can minimize the emission of methane gas, and simultaneously we can increase the production of animals and reduce the greenhouse gas emission.
Thank you so much, sir. So these were the queries of the participant, Ankit Kumar Singh. So thank you so much for such an informative session. So moving forward, now I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude and propose a vote of thanks on behalf of organizing committee and institution. I extend my sincere thanks to the speakers and our organizing university, Rani Lakshmibai Central Agriculture University, Jhansi, University of Agriculture Sciences, Raichur, Swami Vivekanand Bharati University, Meerut, GD Goenka University, Gurugram, Sant Girera Guru Vishwavidyalaya, and the institutions AFTEFS Society, Vital Biotech Education Group, our faculty members and experts, Dr. Jitendra Mehta, President AFTEFS Society, our technical support teams, and all the participants who have joined us from different parts of the country. Your presence had made this technical session truly meaningful and memorable. With this, we conclude the day 19. All participants are requested to please join tomorrow at 6 p.m. Wishing everyone a productive, enriching, and successful 21 days Krishi Manthan Summer School Training Program. Stay connected and keep learning. Jai Hind to all.
Thank you, Dr. Dinesh.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you all.